Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to Chapter 25 of Tales of Tyrasia. Joining me this evening, we have, as always, the Northern Grizzly playing Gralkrabba the Exile, the Custodian Kragnobba Barbarian, teaming with the almighty power of Eshen as a Storm Herald.
We will make Western Elador great.
Raccoon Trouble playing Gil, the Fallen Fae druid entwined within the Druidic Circle of Dreams.
Hi.
And finally, Captain Heretic playing Sir Alan Thorne, the Cephodendra Paladin of whom has sworn proudly the Oath of the Ancients.
Same, honestly.
Let's play some D&D, shall we?
I feel that.
Yay.
Hi!
How's it going, everybody?
Hi,
Good.
everybody.
Hi, Dr. Alan.
That's Sir Dr. Professor Alan to you.
Sir Dr. Professor Alan Esquire. Not a
The
doctor.
third.
Of Cheen.
He doesn't
Mittens
have a
Kong.
he
Mittens
doesn't have a
Kong
medical
third.
license.
I must tell you, I don't have a real medical license.
I don't have a real medical license. But I pass those savings on to you.
So, friends, what happened last chapter?
Last chapter, Sir Alan was waiting outside the cave after hearing noises, and continued to hear some noises scattered every now and then, the chittering of what sounds like a keeley, and then stupid rat moves into the brush after weighing it up and ends up being ambushed by blackened eye assassins and a cultist. Not a cultist, a cultist.
A cultist, not O cultist.
We got into battle. Sir Alan got his shit wrecked. Then Gil came out, healed the fuck out of Sir Alan. Sir Alan got his shit wrecked.
Again.
Grol was stuck in a cave for a bit.
Did I get healed?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few times. Yeah. I think
many?
Gil is the reason why you are not lumber.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Like 3 separate times.
Uh-huh.
fair enough.
Yeah, you got healed through the combat, if that's what you're asking. You definitely got combat healed. You haven't been healed since.
No.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't have any juice left. So.
Yeah.
No juice. Grol got out of the cave. There was battle. Grol crushed a man to death. Gil used sunlight and got tick damage on daylight, sorry.
Yeah.
And burned a lot of the blackened eye assassins via tick damage. But not the cultist, weirdly enough. And Sir Alan stabbed a dude so hard, excuse me, that he then launched him at someone else. Missed, but it was still rad. We took them all out, and then we had a nap.
And then we had a nap.
And Gil sat down to collect his spells, or ready his spells, and spots like a little Achille, we think, popping out of a hole and then disappearing.
Yep, that's basically what happened. So, it's over to you then, guys. The last thing that happened was Gil, as you were noting down your... I mean, how do you even go about doing it? Do you note them down, like in a book, or do you like just try to recall things to the front of your mind for the day? How does it work?
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically you're basically pushing back the other spells and kind of like focusing on certain spells for the day then.
Yeah, I mean, if I am, they don't all have to change. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, as Gil is deep in concentration, trying to focus in on the spells that he wants to either recollect or just focus on for the day. He hears chittering coming from the back of the cave, and as Gil looks over, notices that there is what appears to be a small rat-like creature that, upon you glancing over, immediately gets spooked and scurries back down the little tunnel that it has popped its head out of at the back of the cave. And it is long gone. You just hear this like, and you hear scurrying straight back down the tunnel.
As he was putting his journal away, he looks back to his journal and then opens it to a spot and then jots something down quickly.
Mm-hmm.
By the, like, on the opposite page of the drawing of the cave scrawlings.
Mm-hmm.
And then shuts his notebook and puts it away.
Okay. Whereabouts is Salithar in all this? Did Salithar head off, or is Salithar with you in the cave?
I know we were talking before I went to go prep spells, but I don't know where she went. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if she followed me or not.
Because...
I told her what I was doing, though, I remember that.
Yeah. In fact, I think I remember her following you because she was curious as to how you went about doing it. I think that was one of the last things that we spoke about, was she was interested in, like, what you were doing.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
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 What's Graal doing currently?
I'm asleep.
You're still asleep. Are you in?
Yeah.
You're sleeping. You were sleeping
Just outside the
outside.
cave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had like another hour or two left, I think.
Right. Okay. And Sir Alan is currently sunning himself.
He's pooped. He's lying down and
Yeah.
sunbathing
Mm-hmm.
with the weird smoky stone we found.
And I'm
And
pretty sure I
examining
said you'd done like half your 4 hours already. So you still
I
have like
got
another
couple
2
of
hours.
to go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Salithar is kind of like, studiously, like, just like watching Gil, like what he's doing. And to her, it looks very strange because Gil is kind of just like, almost like meditating, like amidst like writing stuff down in the journal. He's kind of, it almost looks like he's in like a trance of like how he's going about like, recalling and focusing on these like spells for the day, and she's kind of like staring like intently at Gil until like Gil realizes that she's basically just staring at him from like the side. And she not quite that close. No, but yeah, Gil does notice that she's like basically like in a trance of her own, but just like staring like intently, like wondering what the hell you're doing. And this basically just carries on going for like several minutes. And she it looks like she's become like unaware of the fact that she's now staring.
He looks up at her and is like,
Sorry. And she rubs her eyes quickly and says, "Sorry, was I staring?"
yeah, but that's fine. I kind of do a lot of staring when I do that, so,
I was just wondering what exactly you were doing.
Just recalling certain spells that I think I might need today. It's really simple, but it's hard to explain.
It looks interesting.
How?
I don't know, you just looked so... I don't know how to explain it. Like, you were so focused on your thoughts. It, like, to me, it looked like you were focusing on nothing, but then, like, as I was watching, it looked like you were... I don't know, like you were in a daydream?
Well, I've never seen myself do that before, so...
Yeah, I
It
guess...
must have looked interesting if you thought it did.
Anyway, sorry for staring. What?
That's fine. I said that we were going to go look for food, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
shall I wake, Growl?
oh yeah, probably. He's good at it.
Oh, okay.
Careful.
And she'll like get up and like slowly like pace herself outside, and she sees just this like mass of crustacean just like
I'll follow her.
lummoxed on the side, and she kind of like pats like from behind. She's like stood completely behind Growl. She kind of like pats him like on the chitin, just like on his shoulder, and she's like, Growl. Growl.
Yeah.
Growl. Growl. like pushes and shakes your shoulder.
Salvatha?
Gil told me to wake you up.
Not ready awake.
What?
We're,
No. Hi, Gil. Oh, was it not working?
yeah.
You're back.
Hi.
Uh,
I'm not ready to wake
anyways,
up
I
yet.
said, don't make me throw something at you.
But I'm not ready to
We're
wake
going to look
up
for
yet.
Food.
Oh, can you do it alone?
Yeah.
What did he say? I don't understand.
Oh, he said he's not ready to wake up yet, and asked if we could do it alone.
Okay.
You can take my halberd if you want.
I can't carry that.
Okay. I'm gonna go sleep again. Grawl just like thanks. He was obviously half awake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a pebble and throw it at his head.
I probably don't even register. What would a pebble against chitin sound like?
Probably like
Probably like just a little stone hitting into the stone.
Yeah, probably. Dull clink.
or like a mineral against like a nail or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I fall back asleep again.
Okay, sure.
Alright, well I guess we're on around.
Yeah, so Salathor will like turn around. She's kind of like she's been like hugging like her chest this whole time, and she kind of like shuffles slowly back to Gil and just says, "I don't think he's moving."
I don't think he is either. We could always go look on our own.
Sure. Yeah, I'll try help.
The DM told me I have 2 more hours until I'm fully rested.
The Kragnova murmured. Does that mean that you meta dream?
Oh yeah.
I still have inspiration, Mom.
I don't, I used it.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, so what are you going to be doing then, Gil?
I want to hunt for like a protein.
Sure. Okay.
And I assume, yeah, Growl taught Selitha how to look for like vegetation forageables, right?
Mm-hmm.
Berries, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Selitha, how about you look for more of those berries that you found with Grawl? Do you remember where they were?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can look for some more. I can try.
Okay. Take me there, and then I'll look for some other stuff too.
Okay. Do you have anything that I could carry them in? And she holds out her hands, and you see like how small her hands actually are,
Right.
because she is still quite young. So
I'm gonna pull my winter blanket out.
okay, sure.
And then proceed to like flip it out and
Mhm.
lay it on the floor, and then show her like how to fold up the corners and then carry it like that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And she'll like she kind of like nods, like watching you do it, and then she like has a go, and she picks it up pretty easily, like how to go about like collecting up all the corners and everything, so that she can carry stuff.
Okay. So let's go there, and I'll look for stuff while we're there too.
Okay, sure. And she'll like pick it up and puts it over her shoulder, and she like she nestles her hat like back down to make sure it's like securely down, and like as she like looks out from the cave entrance, she kind of like looks up hesitantly, and then like walks back outside with like the thing, the blanket over her shoulder, and starts to walk back to where her and Graal were originally foraging. So, what are you going to be doing in this time then?
I have an idea.
Sure.
I would like to shapeshift into something called a jaculi, but I don't think
A what?
we have those. A jaculi, it's Jaculi. If you want a stat card, because I can't find it on the one that I usually use.
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a thing for it. Sure.
But to describe what it is, they're, I think, dragons, but they look more like snakes.
Yeah,
So
they're
I
like
don't know if
draconic snakes. They're like worms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like WYRM.
Right.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna do this right off the bat without telling her.
Okay, sure.
So whatever this thing is called in Tyrasia, I wanna shapeshift into it. But
I mean, you can just shapeshift into that for now,
okay.
because it would just be like, you know, that kind of snake anyway.
Okay.
Mhm.
Pretty similar in appearance then. Okay, don't freak out. But I am going to do some hunting, but I'm not going to look like me.
Oh, are you going to turn back into the bear?
No. Something a little bit more camouflaged.
Okay.
How do you feel about snakes?
I'm not great with snakes. Why?
Well, it'll be me still. You should be able to tell by the markings that I'll have. So,
Okay.
don't be scared. I'm just gonna go hunting.
Okay. Are you doing that now? So that I can see?
Yeah, I won't go far either.
Okay.
And
And
with that,
she kind
I
of like steps back like a few paces.
And with that, I will shapeshift into a jaculi, and my tattoos are now like kind of translated into markings on a snake's back.
Yeah.
So they look very similar, and it's kind of like a, I don't know if you've ever seen like a lavender hognose snake, but kind of like that, like light purple with like dark purple belly scales.
Let's have a look. So I can see like exactly what you mean.
They're
Yeah.
really pretty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how big am I? I'm large.
Oh wow, yeah, you are large.
A Jakuli is a large beast.
She's gonna be like
How are you with
expectantly like
snakes?
looking down and then just absolutely terrified.
This motherfucker.
Yep.
And like in an effort to just be like smaller, I'll like coil up, and he like lifts his snake head up, and he gives like a little blip with his tongue.
A blim. Like as you shift, you see like Seletha kind of like recoil slightly and like take one step further back, and she just mutters, "You're still Gil, right?"
The snake nods.
The snake nods in agreement. And she just says, you can see that like her chest is like moving slightly more erratically now. Like you can see that she's definitely like breathing like a lot at a more quickened pace. And she just says, "Okay, I'll go find the berries." And like as she's walking that way, you can see that she keeps like looking back at Gil, like looking where you are, if you've moved or not.
I'm not moving. He just kind of like he lifts his head up a little bit, and his neck follows, and he's watching where she's going. So I know where she is.
Like as she's backing up, you see her like slightly stumble like on a tree root as well, and she's like like keeping absolute like eye contact on you at all times. Before like she's like a good like 20-30 feet away now, and she like slowly like turns and like walks a bit quicker like into the trees.
All jokes aside, right? The most terrifying thing about this snake is probably the fact that its eyes are just like this black void. There's nothing there. Like it's just like this glassy abyss.
To be fair, she's already used to that with Gil.
Right,
have,
yeah,
like, these
but on a
abyss-like
large
eyes.
like snake.
On a large snake, which you've now found out that she's actually scared of snakes.
Yeah. Whoops. Anyways, I'd like to look for prey.
Sure.
So I'm gonna get real sneaky here.
I'm gonna get real sneaky.
And roll for stealth, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have advantage on dexterity stealth checks.
Okay.
Thank God for that. That is a 13 plus. I add my modifier. 13, so it's 15.
15. Okay. Yeah. You are sufficiently stealthed from most things that you can sense around you.
Okay, so being a large beast, I could probably hunt medium, right?
Yeah.
If I could find it. Yeah. Okay. Probably a perception check, right?
Yeah, to actually find the stuff. Yeah, sure. Perception check.
I'd like to use smell.
Sure.
Considering that I have blind sight, so I don't really need to rely on my sight to find something. So he lifts his head up a little bit further and flicks his tongue around. And that's a 19.
That's a very good roll.
Plus wisdom. which I retain because it's an intelligence. It's because it's brain meat power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 19 plus 5, so 24.
24 is very good. Yeah, you are able
Looking for
to
large game first, and then smaller stuff.
large or medium.
Medium, sorry.
Medium.
Big game, yeah.
Okay. You flick your tongue through the air, and as far as you can tell, there aren't many like large creatures in the vicinity. Through your like smell vision, I guess you could say, you're able to detect that there have been medium-sized creatures around. But you're able to discern the fact that these are, or what you presume to be, what you were fighting last night. However, you're not.
The black and eye.
Yeah, you can still smell like traces of those like in the air, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, though, the only thing that you can really detect are like small creatures. You're not really able to detect anything.
I can go for small creatures.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me? 1 second. I want to check something. Can you give me just a regular D20 roll with advantage?
Yeah. High dice is 18.
18? Okay. You are able to find a small burrow of mice.
Okay.
As you get closer, you realize that it's actually fairly well populated. There's actually quite a lot of mice in there.
Okay.
Do you want to continue sniff sighting?
Yeah, just to see if I can find anything bigger-ish than
Okay.
that, but if not, I'll probably just default to that.
Okay.
I don't know if Salvatore would be squeamish about eating mice, so...
Well, you're already a snake, so...
Well, yeah. True.
It's not like it can get much better for her at this point. As you're sniffing around, you are able to smell in the distance. You can smell a badger. Not a giant badger, just a badger.
Yeah. I would like to stealthily follow that scent.
Sure, okay.
Do a heckin' slither through the tall grass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got pretty good stealth at this point. So as you get closer, you manage to get within like, I would say, 15 feet of the badger, and you realize that there are actually two badgers.
Oh.
And they're both like pretty close to each other. I would say maybe like 10 feet away from each other. The one that's closest to you, you are like 15 feet away from currently. You're in like... You are basically like stealthing in like the fallen foliage of the trees. You're like in the undergrowth of the forest.
About how many feet away from them?
You are 15 feet away from the closest one. There is another one 10 further feet away from that badger.
Okay. I'd like to spring against the furthest one.
Sure, okay.
So that reads the Jakuli springs up to 30 feet in a straight line and makes a bite attack against a target within its reach. This attack has advantage if the Jakuli springs at least 10 feet. If the attack hits, the bite deals an extra 7 2d6 piercing damage.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. So roll to hit with advantage, right?
Yes.
18.
Yep. You, as, what even would this be?
Sorry, there's a plus 4 to hit on bite. Does that count for it? Not that it matters, but
I don't think it matters because you definitely hit
Okay.
its AC.
yeah.
If it says you can do the thing and then make the bite attack, then yeah, that would.
No,
include
it just
the
says
plus
this
eight.
attack. I think spring itself is an attack. It doesn't say.
Yeah, it is an action. Yeah.
Yeah, spring is the attack because it says this attack. Although it does say it makes a bite attack.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes the bite attack. It springs as an action in order to finish up making the bite attack.
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
bite
yeah.
attack would be the
No,
attack.
no, yeah, Cap is right because bite
Okay.
does 2d6 plus 2 piercing damage, and spring says it does an
That's
extra
ridiculous.
2d6
Okay.
piercing damage if you spring at least 10 feet.
So
which
it's
you have
22 to hit.
that.
Do that
yeah,
more.
yeah, you definitely hit it. Also, you 100% one-shot it.
Oh yeah, badgers are like CR0.
Yeah, you absolutely destroyed this thing.
2d6 plus 2 piercing damage plus another 2d6. Like I don't even think I have to roll.
Yeah, no, you don't. I think actually the minimum you could possibly roll still kills it.
What's a badger's HP?
3.
3.
Poor thing. Yeah, no, you're rolling so many dice that even if you completely whiff it, it's overkilled.
Yeah. Yeah,
Poor
it's
thing.
it's absolutely dead. As
But at least the mic is hit.
as Gilcooley springs out of the undergrowth of the forest, he lurches right into the rump of this badger and sinks its teeth right into its butt, and it is downed in one. Like the sheer weight distribution or like of the fangs being sunk into its butt and then like kind of like coiling around and pinning it to the floor. Yeah, it is absolutely like killed in an instant. It didn't have a chance. The other one immediately like turns and like sees what happened and immediately like starts to run away.
That's fair.
There's only so much stealth will go.
Yeah. I would like to carry this in my mouth back to someone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do that. So you can like, as you're carrying it back, you can like make out Salatha's scent, and you start heading in her direction, and you can see that she's like just.
I'm not stealthing, by the way. I'm
yeah.
not being stealthy anymore.
She just turns around and there's like this Jakuli right in her face with a badger in
This
its
large
mouth,
size snake.
and she just turns around and faints. I can picture that right now. That doesn't happen. No, you slowly slither your way over to where you can smell Smellatha. Yeah, she's busy just picking away at various berries and everything, and she hears like rustling from the side and turns, and immediately like you hear her squeak, like a baby scream as she stifles herself, and she like sees this like giant snake just slithering with a badger like dangling from its jaw, and she like her first the first thing she says is, "Gil."
He nods with a badger in his mouth.
That's disgusting.
plop it on the floor.
And
I'm a
like
very sad
as it like plops on the floor, you see her like visibly like stifle like her stomach as she's like, God, that's disgusting.
He looks very sad. I'm gonna kind of like move in front of it and like coil around it so she can't see it.
Yeah, well, like as you do that and you're like paying attention to her, you can't quite work out if she's more afraid or like more freaked out by you or what you just did. Because her eyes keep like darting back and forth between your like head and like the body on the floor, and she's very apprehensive to even like move.
Okay, so I'd like to like coil around it fully and then just kind of like lay my head down. Like good snake.
Yeah, try it like good
Try
snake.
and be like as small and least threatening as possible.
Okay. As you do so, she like starts to calm down, and she just says, I haven't managed to get that much yet, but... And she kind of like holds out like the blanket, and she shows she's managed to get like maybe a decent or like probably a small amount for 2 people.
Okay.
So far. But as you look over all the stuff, you see that she has managed to pick things which are like harmless. So
Okay.
you can
so
see
there's nothing in there that...
yeah, there's nothing that she's picked. She's been very careful about what she's picked. That's why she hasn't picked much.
I'm so
okay.
proud.
So with Gil Cooley's head on his side, kind of like this, he like gives a little tongue blip of approval. Zip.
Okay.
I would smile, but it would scare the shit out of her.
Like smiles, and then like the fangs kind of like poke
Yeah,
out.
they just like
Okay, so what are you wanting to do now then? Are you just going to be watching Salithar, or are you heading back to the camp? What are your plans now?
How much, like, how long has it been?
I would say that whole ordeal probably took not even like quarter of an hour. Like it didn't take very long for you to track down the badgers.
Okay.
Maybe like 10
I'd
minutes
say,
or so.
Yeah, I'll wait for her to find, if she can, like, one more portion.
Sure, okay.
Just for Grawl.
Mhm.
Because our tree friend doesn't eat really anything.
Mhm.
And then I'll start, like, moving back.
Yeah, sure, okay. So I would say like a good like 10 minutes pass from now until she's able to get like a decent portion for like 3 of you. Mostly because like she keeps looking like every like minute or so she keeps looking back to see if you're still there, because she keeps thinking, you know, that you're gonna sneak up on her or something. She's still very apprehensive, like even with you trying to be as like passive as possible, you can see that she's visibly like stressed by your appearance. And
Welcome to my world.
yeah. And yeah, it takes her like another 10 minutes or so, and then finally she kind of like bundles it together, and she tries to show you like as good as possible like how much she's like collected, but she's doing it from like a distance, so she doesn't have to go like too near you, and she's kind of just like angling it as much as possible so she can show you, and she just says, do you think this is enough?
Okay, so when I see she's got like enough for 3 people, I'll start uncoiling but keeping very low to the ground.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like
And
as
then-
you do so, she kind of like steps like slightly to the side so that you have more of a berth.
Mm-hmm. So then I will kind of like nod at her and look back towards camp, and then I will pick up my badger and I will start slithering.
As you like go to do that as well, as you go to pick it up, she immediately turns around and she goes. You just hear her, like very faintly say, "Oh, that's disgusting." And she's not even like holding it over her shoulder now. She's kind of like bunched it up and just holding it against her chest and like walking straight forwards, like not looking behind now. She just like beelines straight back to camp.
I'll keep up with her, I guess. I mean, what's my speed?
I mean, she doesn't run.
22.
She just like
okay.
She doesn't even like turn around. She's just like, I'm not looking. This is disgusting.
I'll stay behind her, just so she doesn't have to look.
Okay, so yeah, it only takes you like 5 minutes to get back to camp from where you are, because you stayed well within the vicinity of the camp, like only a 5-minute walk, if that. Yeah, and altogether, that whole situation, I would say, took no more than half an hour.
Okay. Cool. Efficient.
So yeah, Graal is still absolutely conked out.
I'm gonna drop the badger on him.
Just on him. Okay.
I'm not. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. He might wake up and eat all of it. And I, frankly, would like some protein. So, yeah, I'll drop it, I think, outside of the cave. And after I drop it, I will shape back.
Okay, sure. And, yeah, as you shape back, you hear Selitha kind of, like, breathe, like, a heavy sigh of relief. And she says, I know it was you, but I'm so sorry. I'm really not good with snakes.
I could tell. I'm sorry. If I shaped back into myself before we got here, I wouldn't be able to carry it back.
I know. I don't want to think about it.
Okay, that's fine. Right. I'm gonna get a fire going and figure this out.
Okay. Do you want help with some firewood?
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay. And she like scurries off to go grab some like twigs and stuff from around the campsite, and within like 5 minutes or so, she managed to bring back like a good handful of twigs and stuff to get a fire going. What are you doing in the meantime? Are you just letting her get it?
I'm gonna skin the badger.
Okay, sure.
I'll use my dagger.
Roll for survival.
Great.
Are you trying to get like a pelt from it, like, or are you just trying to like clean it up? So
I mean, if I did, that'd be cool. So I guess yeah.
Yeah, survival roll then.
So that's a wisdom roll. That's good. 13 plus 5.
Yeah, okay. I would say you get a pretty damn good badger pelt out of that. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but you definitely do a decent job and manage to get like the majority of the pelts like intact.
Awesome. Okay. I guess then I'm gonna clean it.
Sure. Okay. As like because this takes. I don't
He's gonna be so disgusted. Oh god.
I don't know how long it would take to skin a badger, but I'm gonna go with like.
Or like, depending
10,
on. Well, it's like a small.
Yeah. I would say like a generous like
like
10-15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and you see like every time like Selitha comes back with like some more like twigs and stuff, she kind of like looks away from like what you're doing, and like when on like her third trip back, she comes back every like 5 minutes or so with some more wood for the fire. And she kind of like, she sits down like maybe 10 feet away from you and just like looking the exact opposite direction. And you just hear her say, "Okay, I've got the wood."
Perfect, thank you. Do you wanna... You look a little bit uncomfortable. Do you want to go sit with Grawl?
No, I'm fine. I'm just not gonna look.
Okay.
Let me know when it's cooked, please.
Okay, I will.
Thank you. You can hear like there's like slight distress in her voice, like as she's talking to you.
All right. I'm gonna clean it. So. Get all the guts out of here.
Yeah, I'll treat this as like the same survival roll. So you do a pretty good job. You're pretty efficient with it, and you're left with some pretty good badger meat to cook up. How are you going to go about cooking it? That's the question.
Let's see. So
shish kebab.
In it, explorer's pack, right? Do I have any, like, pots and pans?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Hold on. Let me just double check.
In an explorer's pack, you have...
No, I do not. It's a
It's
backpack, a bedroll, a mess kit, tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin, and 50 feet of hempen rope. So, no. I guess it's shish kebab.
The mess kit, though, it says, this tin box contains a cup and simple cutlery. The box clamps together and one side can be used as a cooking pan.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I guess I'll do it in, like, little portions.
Yeah, it says one side can be used as a cooking pan and the other as a plate or shallow bowl. So you can, like, you could... I mean, you'd probably have to use like multiple mess kits, I would say, to cook up all of this, because there's no way that you could fit like
well, yeah, that's what I'm
badges
saying.
worth
I'll do it in like little portions.
Yeah, sure.
So like as much as I can cook in that side, and then you know.
Yeah, sure. Do you have any?
So I guess I'll.
Do you have any like bowls and stuff like between all of you? Because I guess you could just use the mess kit to cook
a really
stuff.
big leaf.
You could use the mess. You could use like the pan to cook the stuff, and then just like distribute it into different bowls if you have those between you. I don't know what you guys
I
have.
think we all have our own mess kit, like bowls. You can like eat in those.
Okay.
You've probably stolen mine, so you probably also have my mess kit. Because I needed to buy supplies, so I got just the standard, hey, cool, this is a bag of supplies. I have no need of the mess kit. So you probably already have mine.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay.
I'm just saying I need to know how you're going to prepare this.
I don't know, or because I'm guessing that I haven't cut it into like tiny little pieces, right? So it might not be a bad idea to take a stick and just do a whole roast.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so I'll start looking around for 2 Y-shaped branches, and then 1 long branch.
Sure, okay.
Like, pretty sturdy branch.
I would say you're able to find that pretty easily, because of the like abundance of branches that have been littered around the forest floor, so I don't think you need a perception roll for this. I think it's fairly easy for you to find one.
Okay,
from nearby.
I will drive... Well... First, I'll kind of like make up the fire little structure.
Yeah.
And then I will drive the 2 Y-shaped branches into the ground, using the back of my dagger to kind of like push them into place.
Sure. So this is just
then...
outside the cave entrance as well, like where the dirt path is.
And then he turns to Celitha. Okay. You're not gonna want to look this way.
I'm not looking.
Okay. And then I'm going to take the big stick and drive it through the badger lengthwise.
Sure, okay. You can just hear like slight like piercing sound, like as it like skewers through. And you see like her ears underneath her hat. You see her ears, like, you know how when like cats get annoyed and their ears kind of like flick. You see like her ears like flick on the ends, like as she hears, and she kind of just like shivers slightly from behind.
And then I will put the spare pieces of the branch on either side of the badger onto the crux of the Y branches. And light the fire with a cheeky little produce flame.
Little baby fireball. Sure, okay. So yeah, within like a minute or so, you've got like a nice roaring fire from the abundance of firewood that, well, not firewood, but like twigs and small branches that Salazar was able to find. You've got a roaring fire within like a couple of minutes, and after a few more minutes, it starts to dwindle, and you start to get like a nice steady flame that isn't like, you know, immediately taking up all of the wood. And yeah, within, I'd say 5 minutes, you start to get that very, very subtle smell of cooked meat starting to emanate from the area.
I'll just be tending to the fire and like rotating the stick.
Sure, yeah, okay.
As it gets done on each side.
Okay. After about 10 minutes pass or so, you see Salazar kind of like slowly like turning her head around to like look, and she sees and like as it's like starting to become less, you know, like bright red, and more of like that, not seared, but like more cooked meat look to it. She kind of turns around and she doesn't like stand up, but she kind of like shuffles like her butt over like closer to the fire, and she like turns around and you can see her like sniffing at the air. Like she's now got past like the whole gross part of it all and is now like very much enjoying the smell of what's cooking.
Gil is kind of just like looking at her through his peripheral vision, kind of smiling to himself. It's like it's interesting to watch her like go from completely grossed out to like, ooh, what's that?
As you're like cooking away at this badger, the next time you like look up at Salazar, because I'm assuming you have your back to the cave, like cooking away at yeah.
Yep.
Salazar's kind of like the other side of the fire, looking like at the fire, but like towards the cave. And the next time you look up, she kind of like looks up like at you, and then she like looks slightly to the side into the cave, and you see her eyes, like her pupils, like I guess widen, and her ears immediately like flatten, and she kind of like looks as if she's squinting into the cave. And she just
turn around.
You turning around?
What's she looking? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You turn around and you can see fairly easily because of your dark vision. You can see there's the same like face that you saw before poking out of the tunnel, and you can see it hasn't noticed that you're looking its way, but you can see it's blowing at the fire, like. But it's like way at the back of the cave. It's nowhere near you. It's almost like it's like it's trying to blow it out from like way away, like a good like 20 feet away, and you can't hear it, but you can see it.
Okay.
Is this me?
How how close is the batter to being done?
I'd say you've only been cooking it for like 10 minutes now. I'd say. I mean, I really don't know because I've never cooked a badger before, especially on a spit. So I wouldn't have the foggiest idea of how long. Actually, let's find out. How long does a badger take to cook? The first thing was roadkill, hunter-gathering.
Oh no!
That was the first thing that came up.
Oh god.
That's not hunting.
I mean, it is. It's just getting something else to do it for you.
It's gathering.
Something going very fast. Okay, strangely enough, no one has a set badger menu, so I can't tell you. I would say it would need like a good 20 minutes, though, to cook properly. It'd probably need more than that, but I'm going to go with 20 minutes because it's my game and I can say what I want.
To cook an animal on a fire just out in the world would probably take quite a lot longer than 20 minutes. You'd probably need to be roasting it for a couple of hours at least.
I would disagree with hours. I watched quite a few survival videos. I've seen someone cooking like a rabbit in like under an hour.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like a solid hunk of meat. It's like a cleaned carcass, so it's like it's got like more surface area and less thickness.
Yeah. I would say you would need to cook this for like half an hour longer then. So it's not done.
Okay.
Definitely don't try it now. You don't want to try badger sushi.
Right, yeah. Especially wild badger sushi. Bad idea.
Wild badger sushi. Confirmed. Evan delicacy.
Selitha, do you feel up to getting some more firewood if there's enough around here?
And like, you can see her eyes kind of like darting between the creature at the back of the cave and you. And she like looks at you and she just nods and says, "Sure, I'll go get some more wood."
Okay, I'm gonna start poking the fire out. The one at the mouth of the cave.
Okay. And she'll like, she's still like, her eyes are darting between like you and the back of the cave, and she like gets up and like walks off to go get some more firewood.
I'm gonna change my direction, so I'm gonna sit on the other side of the fire with my face to the cave as I'm poking it out and kind of getting it to like non-flame levels of fire.
So just like an ember, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You're able to stifle the flame to like an ember within like a minute or so. It doesn't take long to kill the flame.
Okay.
As you're doing so, you can see that this creature is still kind of like, it's not doing it like as quickly, but it's like it's watching outside. You can't tell exactly what it's looking at, but it's looking in your direction.
Is it still like blowing on the?
It's like very rarely.
Okay. All right. As she finds firewood, I'm gonna start stacking about. Okay, so the mouth of the cave is over here, where Grawl is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right about here. So about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet out. Maybe 30. We'll make it 30.
Sure, yeah.
But I'll take the badger off the stick and take it with me and then come back for the 2 Y branches and start setting those up.
Sure. As you like disassemble everything and like move it over, you see that the creature kind of like gets more out of, like actually gets out of the tunnel that it's burrowed, and it's like very, very like timidly walking on like all fours across like the cave, way out of the daylight, because the daylight, it is like light in the cave, but not the like direct daylight. It's staying out of the direct daylight, and it's kind of like pacing around still in the dark, and it's just like watching you, and you can see its nose kind of like sniffing at the air, and it's kind of like it's looking almost without purpose, like it's looking around as if it's not focusing on any particular thing, but it's like sniffing, like trying to pick up like the scent from before. It's definitely looking outside.
Yeah.
But it's not specifically looking at you anymore.
What I know about Achille so far, as Gil, is that they eat rocks, right? Like rocks and minerals. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll, Actually, you know what? I'd like to, the guts that I cleaned out. I'm going to bring them over to the mouth of the cave, near where the old fire is.
Sure, okay.
And leave them there.
Okay.
And see if it goes for it.
Are you walking there or fluttering there?
I'll flutter because I don't know if this thing's gonna try and like jump at me. It doesn't seem hostile, but
as you
I'll be
like
ready to fly up.
Have you just got like all these guts in your hands?
I mean, I'll carry as much as I can.
So as you're like fluttering over, it's kind of like looking around, sniffing at the air, and you get really close to it. You get within like 10 feet of it, and you can now like definitely make out like all of its features. It is 100%, as far as you're aware, an Achille. It definitely does not look like the other Achille that you saw before, though. It doesn't look... How would I describe it? It doesn't look like it's doing bad.
Is he portly?
No, it looks like it's healthy.
Okay.
Like
it's not like crazed and strung out on magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say like my way of putting it is it doesn't look like a meth addict compared to like the others that you saw, like the absolute junkies you saw deep in Zirathil. This one looks pretty tame, and it doesn't look hostile as far as you can tell. It looks like it's breathing like regularly. You know, like the other ones were like full on, like, you know, absolutely going crazy at the slightest like movement. This thing is kind of just like curious, almost. And you get within like 10 feet of it, and as you get closer, its like ears perk up, and it looks directly at you, and it like, you can see like these big like white eyes. Its pupils are like grey, and it looks like directly at not your face, just at you as a whole, and it's kind of like sniffing like at you, and its ears are kind of like all like wide, like they have fairly big ears, and it's just like sniffing up at you, and like its nose kind of like, it gets close enough so its nose is kind of like in the sunlight, and it immediately like retracts backwards, and it's like sniffing like around in like different directions. But it knows you're there. And you could just hear these like very faint like
Okay, so I guess I'll put the guts down, and then I'm gonna walk over to the fire and try and like stomp some more of it out, because I'm sure it's getting pretty low at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like at this point,
The embers are
you
starting to
basically
cool.
have like embers now. Like there isn't really like flames left, and as you like put the like guts down on the floor, it kind of like you see it like sniff at them, and it kind of like retracts away like slowly from it, and it like carries on like hesitantly like sniffing in that direction, and then it just goes back to like looking around like I guess without purpose again, and it's like sniffing around like at the air, and then it kind of like turns back to its tunnel and takes like one final look around and then crawls back into the tunnel.
Okay. I will start setting up the other fire, I guess, then.
Okay. Sure, you go ahead and do that. You spark up another baby's first fireball. Are you getting like a proper flame going again, or are you reducing it down to like embers like before?
I'll get like an actual fire going, yeah. I'll let the flames die down so they're not like gonna be on the meat itself, but like just under it.
Yeah, sure. So this whole like ordeal with the Achille lasted all of like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And Salitha comes back and she's like looking back at the cave entrance, and then like back to you, and she puts it down and she says, "So, did you see what it was?"
Yeah, it's an Achille for sure. It didn't look like the ones that we saw.
Oh, have you seen them before?
Yeah, down in the cave when we first met you.
And she kind of like scratches. She like scratches the back of her head, and she says, "Oh, okay."
But the ones there looked kind of, I don't know, wrong.
Wrong?
Wrong, yeah. I didn't really have anything to compare it to, but that one looks better. Definitely not as hostile. I think it was just curious.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they like fire. I don't think they like fire. So we're just gonna move out this way some more.
Okay. And she'll like put down the firewood and like begin putting some more like sticks on the fire to feed it a bit more.
Okay. Once the flame is at like the right level, I'll put the badger back on and start turning it again.
Okay.
But also, like in between the times where I'm turning it, I'd like to take out my journal and jot some things more.
Sure.
Jot
Okay.
some more things down about the Achille. Just like notes about that encounter, really.
Okay, so how long has it been then? Like,
I'm
I
just
would say
gonna
maybe-
cook it until it's done, really.
well, I meant like in general. I think it's been like
Oh.
45 minutes since you woke up. Like this whole thing with like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Something around that, yeah.
So
45 to an hour.
yeah, you've been cooking it for like, I would say 15 minutes. So you continue cooking it for like a good 15 minutes, and it's starting to smell. It's starting to smell really good now, but it's not quite done. By this point, it's now been an hour since you all wake up, so there's still like another hour left of Graal and Sir Alan asleep. And as you're just like, you know, turning away at the badger, like cooking it, Seletha, you notice, has just been like staring like at the fire for like a while, and she speaks without looking up. She's kind of like still looking directly at the fire, but she speaks up to you and says, Was I different the first time we met?
You were scared.
I'm scared now.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess the only difference is that you don't remember you.
And you just see her like nod her head, like she's still kind of like fairly unblinking. She's still looking into the fire, like blinking very rarely, and she kind of just like nods in agreement. And then she like speaks up again and says, I'm sorry I'm so much of a burden.
You're not. I wouldn't help you if I didn't want to help you.
I've clearly put you all through a lot, though. Not just you.
We'd be going through a lot anyways.
So where are we heading next?
The goal is to go back to Palom and speak with Maple, who is a Sepulchra there, and we're going to give her the ghost kelp that we got from the sea, in hopes that she will make you an elixir of sorts that will make you feel not worse. I don't know about better, but it'll stop you from getting worse.
Okay. And
You'll
she
like
kind of...
Maple.
Hmm?
You'll like Maple. She's nice.
And she like nods and just says, okay. And she just like goes back to being quiet and like looking into the fire, like basically just like staring at the fire but not blinking like that much. She's kind of like in a sort of trance, just staring at it. And yeah, a good like 15 minutes or so pass of both of you being pretty quiet until I'd say 45 minutes is enough. So yeah, 45 minutes total passes, and it's starting to smell very, very nice. It's starting to get a nice char now on the outside as well.
Excuse me.
Carl's probably outside sniffing the air in his sleep.
Yeah, you'll still asleep for like a good 45 minutes or so, I think. And you see Seletha just like sniffing at the air, and she just, the first thing that she says after like in a while, without looking away again, she just says, I think it's done.
Me too. I'll pull it off the fire. and take out my mess kit and start to like pull some parts of it apart.
Mm-hmm. And
Kind of,
she's had like the winter blanket with her, like held like close, and she kind of like opens it up like near the fire, and just like starts to like sort out like different berries and like fungus that she's found. She kind of like assorts them in different little piles so that you can see like differences, and she's found like a reasonable assortment of various things, a couple of different fungus, and like 4 different types of berries.
Nice. Okay, so I'll start to tear off like a third, roughly, of the badger meat. I guess bones would come with it too. And add like some of the berries and fungus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And put it into my mess kit, and then I'll hand that to her
Okay.
as a portion.
And she kind of like takes it off you, and she just, first time she's like looked up at you in a while, like when she takes the mess kit from you, and she just looks like directly at you and says, "Thank you, girl."
You're welcome. Now eat, because you need your strength, because it's a little while back to Palin.
Okay. And she'll like, she like tries to like pick it up with like her hands, like tries to pick up like bits of meat, and she's like struggling to take it because it's still like scalding hot.
Yeah.
And then she just like goes back to like holding it, and she just like says under her breath, "It's too hot."
Okay. It should cool down soon. I'm gonna take the badger that's on the stick and put it back over the fire, and then just kind of like start poking out the fire so it's down to embers.
Okay. So yeah, I would say like another 15 minutes pass or so between you slowly putting out the fire down to ember level, and like the two of you tucking into your badger meat and berries meal. And yeah, I'd say like 15 minutes pass, and you successfully scoff down your little survival meal.
I just realized we badger, mushroom.
Yeah, yep.
Stew? Not stew, but I guess.
And also, you were the snake.
I was the snake!
Oh, it's a snake.
It's a
This
snake.
was all on purpose.
Yep.
I didn't just realize that. Okay, yeah. So I guess we'll just be waiting for it to cool down.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say like, as a whole, like, between you putting out the fire and like waiting for it to cool down, and you know just quietly chat between the two of you, and like eating your meals takes about half an hour. So there's about 15 minutes left before Graal and Sir Alan wake up, I guess. Is there anything you want to do in that
I'll leave
time?
like a third of the badger on the stick over the embers, so that's Graal's portion.
So it keeps it like a little warm.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you want to do in that like 15 minutes before Graal and Sir Alan wake up?
Eat. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you finish off your meal, and so does Seletha, like very slowly. And yeah, the remaining 15 minutes passes, and Graal, you slowly start to wake up to the wonderful smell of cooked badger.
Sneef, sneef.
Sneef.
Sneef, sneef.
Sir Alan also does the same, but is unfazed by the smell.
What's waking up?
What is awaken?
Oh, that
It's a
smells
sleeping.
great.
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 Ah, this.
I'm gonna have to go have a look at what that is. Growl like gets himself up on his knees and then stands up. He's feeling a little stiff because he slept out on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks into the cave. Okay, something smells amazing. What's that?
Badger.
Badger? Not Oswald, is it?
Are you walking
No.
in? Are you walking into the cave, or are you walking to where
We're
the
like
smell is
30
coming
feet
from?
out of the cave.
Yeah, you're like 30.
Oh,
they're
you
like
are?
30 feet.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Whoops.
because they put
Yeah.
the original fire out, which is just outside of the cave entrance.
There's
They
guts
went out,
next to
so-
that one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll walk over. I will actually initially walk into the cave and see no one's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guess it wasn't coming from here. Then I follow the scent to where they are.
And you can just see, you can see Gil and Salatha, like, with, like, empty, like, mess kit bowls, next to them, and they're just, like, idly, quietly chatting, between each other.
Oh, you lot have been busy. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Gra.
Morning. How we all doing?
Good, I got some leftovers for you on the fire there. And he
Oh,
points at the
you-
badger on the stick.
Thank you. Oh, is this Badger?
Mm-hmm.
I've had it a few
You've
times
got
before.
you've got the pieces of like the upper body. You've got like the head and like the arm.
I've eaten worse before. Badger's
The
pretty
eyes are
good.
like still in there.
I walk up. Do I notice if there's any berries left?
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have left you
Oh.
a portion of vegetation too. Yeah.
Yeah, like, Salatha managed to
Berries.
gather, 3 good portions.
Was this your doing, Salva?
I just got the berries and mushrooms.
Well, none of these berries look poisonous, and you found a good amount of them. Well played.
Yes, you did a good job.
Very, very good job.
Get
Well, I'll teach you a trick. If you have gamey meat, like Badger is, if the taste isn't for you, good thing to do is Growl like grab a handful of the berries, sort of crush them into a paste. You can put it on the outside of the meat, like this. He'll grab a portion of his kebab and like sort of coat it on just a little bit on top of it.
Gil hurriedly
uh,
flips his notebook open and starts jotting it down.
It only really is required for meat that is gamey, like your badgers, your squirrels, your rats, stuff like that. But it really helps with the taste. Thank you. Much appreciated. So,
Gil, like, I can just imagine Gil flicks through, like, his journal and writes down, like, a
Oh,
new
he's got
chapter.
a cooking section. Yeah.
It's like, okay, so Amaranthan cuisine.
this is
la
more like
Growl.
Growl cuisine.
Right. Now there's gonna be a section for like growl techniques.
Growl's technique.
Crush berries. Gamey
for
meat.
survival. So Growl start tucking into that and have some of the mushrooms as well. Good stuff. Well cooked. So did I miss anything while I was asleep? I tried to stay up watch for a while.
Couple pebbles, but that's not it. Oh, there's an
yeah.
Aquile living in a tunnel inside the cave.
Growl put his hand on where his halberd is. Is it still around?
It's not like the ones that we've seen before.
Oh, how so?
It's not hostile. At least I don't think so. I was in like grabbing range of it. It just seemed curious.
Not scarfing rocks?
No,
Okay.
just sniffing around.
I mean, that could have been due to the fact that there's so many
I don't think
magical
they
stones.
like fire.
Oh.
We had the fire closer to the cave over there, but it was trying to like blow it out
I did notice the embers.
from really far away. But so we
Maybe
put it
the
out
smoke.
and we moved the fire over.
Maybe the smoke going down. Was it coming out of the burrow like it did before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I'll remember that right.
Yeah. You would have seen
Yeah.
that.
Maybe the smoke was going down into its burrow.
Yeah, it didn't attack either of us. It was just there.
Huh. Well, if I've got any hypothesis, it might be that maybe the ones in Zerethal Caverns had more access to gemstones. We could walk 5 feet and find one.
Either that or they were under Aerothan's influence.
Also highly
That could
possible.
also be unnatural.
Yeah. Well, if it seemed friendly, that's okay. They'll remove his hand from his halberd and continue eating. He notices the eyeballs in the head and like, oh, you left these in.
The brain's in there too.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty good. Not for everyone.
I left that part for you.
As you say that, you see Seletha as she's just been like looking over, like watching Gil talk, and as he says like, yeah, the brain's still in there, she kind of goes and like swallows like her own throat.
Well, it's not for the squeamish ones. Sorry, Seletha, but brain meat's actually pretty good.
I don't want to hear this. And
It's
she
okay.
like kind of like mid she doesn't like retch, but she like audibly, but she like goes to and she like covers her ears and she's like, I don't want to hear this, please just eat it and shut up.
Not a problem. I'll take my portion away if you prefer. Grawl will like grab his thing, pull out one of the eyes as he walks away once his back's turned, and just throw it in there like a skittle. Pop!
and with that chomp, we are going to take our break.
All right.
A great time.
This has been Cooking in Tyrasia.
This has been.
see you
Oh,
again.
yeah. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
Bye.
See you soon.
And we return.
Hello.
Hello.
So then. We left off with Growl walking away from the fire, popping a badger eye in his mouth.
Love the crunch.
Love the crunch. Right. As Growl is like wandering away from the camp, are you wandering away
Probably
from
towards Sir Alan.
Right, okay. At this point, Sir Alan is like slowly coming to his senses. He's not asleep. He's kind of just in like a meditative state, and he like slowly comes back to his fully conscious state, having now being fully rested. You may now get all of your health back.
Yay!
Because boy, that tree needed it.
Growl
He
is going to
was
be like...
fine.
He's going to be like finishing his portion as he walks, and like he's going to put the thing down, and then attempt to deadlift Sir Alan's leg.
Okay. Roll for athletics, I guess?
Let's fucking go. We ready.
Good lord.
Oh, fuck. 12.
12?
Yeah.
Poor form, you pulled something in your back. Disadvantage on all athletics checks for 2 weeks.
I would say you managed to like lift his leg like off the ground, but barely like chest height before you like drop it.
Oh, these things are heavy. How do you walk around on these?
Are you quite done?
I was just checking if you were awake. Well,
I'm always awake.
if you were present.
I am.
Well, good to see you, my friend.
Are you done?
Oh yeah.
There's one more you haven't tried. You feel
I
the
can give-
need?
Sure, why not? Other one might be lighter.
Go for
I'm
it.
going to attempt to do it. Okay.
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, this is 16 plus 8.
Yeah, you managed to like pick this leg, like now that you like firmly root like all four legs into the ground, kind of like entrench your legs into the dirt, and you get like a proper like the proper like physique for picking or trying to like deadlift something. And
What would
yeah,
quadruped deadlift form look like?
I don't know. Why don't you grow two
It
more
would
legs
be
and find
much
out?
Easier.
Yeah, probably.
It would be way easier because your base would be a lot more stable and there'd be less worrying about rolling back on your heels or rolling forwards.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you managed to like pick his leg like straight up like onto your chest and kind of like start to slowly lift his leg like above your head.
Stop military pressing my leg right now.
Oh, sorry. This one must be made out of cork. That was much easier.
Are
Well,
you
I'm
done?
glad you're feeling better, friend. Yeah, I'm done now. You feel all,
Just drops
rested?
the leg and it snaps in half.
You feeling rested, friend?
I'd say so.
That's good.
I'll...
Apparently we have a friend.
Oh, we have many friends.
Gil himself has spotted a friendly Achille in the cave.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he seemed
Where did
curious.
it come from?
As
Oh.
you Growl isn't looking at the cave. Growl is like looking towards Sir Alan, but Sir Alan is looking in the direction of Growl, and in Sir Alan's like peripheral vision, as Growl is like saying that, you can see, or Sir Alan can just about make out 2 moving figures in the cave. Can't make out as easily as Gil can because you don't have dark vision, but you can see movement because there is light in the cave. It's just not like direct sunlight.
Can I see anyone else? Like, can I see, is Gil and Celitha in my vision, or I think it's just them moving around in the cave?
You can't tell from where you, actually no, because you're here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say no, you can see the other 2. So you can see 2 other figures in the cave. You can't make out from where you are, like, what they are, but you can see 2 small figures in the cave.
Odd. Very odd.
Huh? Odd?
There are things in the cave.
Oh, it's probably the Achille again.
There's more than one.
Oh, well, if I know Achille, they are, well, let's just say, rapid. So, I'm gonna go have a look. I've just finished my
Please
food
don't
anyway.
start a war with a horde of rat folk.
Oh no, I can't really communicate with them, but I'll try and
Well,
say
that's what
hello.
I'm afraid of.
Oh, it'll be fine. I'll see you in a second,
Fucking
Alan.
dead.
Girl's gonna
I'm
go.
coming with him.
What's worse? Graal being able to communicate with something, or Graal not being able to communicate with something? Because let's be
Either
honest,
way's
we've
bad.
had both things happening.
They're both bad.
I'm gonna. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. I was trying to send me.
Okay, so both of you are heading over to the cave entrance.
What the fuck? You can't ride me. Yeah.
Hi ho, Silver.
Okay. As you both get closer to the cave entrance, the sunlight is less dampening on your vision now, and you're able to see fairly easily inside the cave. You don't need dark vision to be able to see inside the cave. The like light runoff is able to like illuminate the cave enough for you to make out that there are 2 Achille wandering around, similarly to how I described in terms of meta, how the DM described to Gil earlier, like what they were doing. They're kind of like, they're looking around without purpose, and they're kind of like sniffing at the air. Both of them have like the same like wide open like eyes with these like faded grey pupils.
Hello.
DM question.
Yeah.
Do they count as humanoid, or would speak with animals work?
You
They
don't
speak common,
know.
don't they?
I will give it a go. I'm going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Okay. Go for
And
it.
I will... And, well, I have... Which spell level is that? It's first level, isn't it? Where's me fucking spell book?
What's Gil and Salitha doing at this point?
I'm watching this happen.
Okay, so yeah, you're basically
Probably
both...
gave them a passive, like, don't hurt them as they pass by.
Okay.
Yas. Speak with Animals is the first level on one of my oath spells. Yas. I will
Okay, cool.
First level spell slot. I will cast Speak with Animals on myself.
And what does that do exactly?
I will read
I mean,
it to you.
like, obviously it's got
10
what it means on the tin, but
10-minute duration on myself. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at a minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived in the past day. You might be able to persuade the beast to form a small favor for you at DM's discretion.
okay, sure.
Yeah, they can just understand sort of basic communication.
Okay, basically it allows you to talk beast for 10 minutes.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
For 10 minutes.
Sure. Okay, so you cast that upon yourself. What do you say?
Hello there.
And they kind of like both immediately like their ears like widen and like they look directly at the like location of where that came from, so they look like directly up, and you can see they're like squinting a bit more because they're looking like more at the light than like where they were looking like at the ground. And as they hear you, they kind of like both almost freeze for like 5 seconds or so, and then like they like look like at each other, and then they go back to like slowly like pacing like around the cave, but like still looking in the direction of where they heard the voice come from.
Do you live here?
That's all the reply you get from them when you say that, by the way.
Are you capable of communicating?
And like one of them like stares like, it looks like it's staring like at your face, but it's not looking like directly at you. It's looking like slightly off from like directly at your face. And it looks like at the other Akile, and then looks back like at in your direction again, and it just says, "Home."
Yes, home. You home? Here?
Home.
Home. And he like nods. But like they're fucking blind. Why is he nodding?
And you can see like as you're having this quote conversation, its nose is constantly like sniffing, like kind of like a rat, like constantly sniffing at the air, like very gingerly.
Yeah. I'm gonna like reach over to like the wall of the cave where there are the scratchings on the wall.
I mean, that's at the back of the cave. You'd have to go like to the back of the cave to do that.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of I'll skirt the edge of the cave, so I'm not bowling through them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk round them to where the scratchings are and sort of just make a like take my fingers and sort of like rub them, like scratch them on the cave wall.
As you like wander into the cave, they both like back up away from where you're walking, and they look down at where your feet are, and they're like sniffing as they like walk backwards, and like they follow your whole person wandering to the back wall, and as you're like tapping the back, their eyes like widen like to their fullest now that they're looking like away from the daylight. And as you're like tapping on the markings, the one that was talking before kind of like waves its hands like in front of it and says, "No, no."
No, not you.
Me home.
Aha. This mark you home?
Me. And then points at like in the vague direction of like the markings, and it's like looking like it's looking at like around your like face area, like where the voice is coming from. But it's still like you've gotten out of this now that it's like blind. It can't see like directly. It's basically just like hearing where you're talking from and looking like in the area that it thinks it's coming from. And it's just pointing like at the wall and says, "Me." And then kind of like it like walks over to like the other Achille, and you can hear it like whispering to the other one.
Can I perceive what it's saying?
Roll perception.
It's not a strong roll. That won't pass.
Do not collect 200.
Do not pass go. I did not do so.
As far as you can tell, it's just making the same sounds as before, but like in a hushed tone. But you can't make out words, at least understandable words.
Do I perceive these words?
Whereabouts are you?
Like, I'm at the cave mouth. Would I be hearing it saying like "me home," etc.?
Yeah, you can hear that. It's saying it audibly, like it's like a hushed shout, like "me home."
It was more like.
But
can
does
I
he
hear
understand
Yeah,
it?
you
Like,
can hear
is
it,
it talking a beast language or is it talking a humanoid language?
It is talking common.
Okay.
Very basic common.
I'm gonna like squat and like
No, sorry.
thump on.
Not common. It's speaking very basic Ervan. Not common. But
Okay.
you can all understand Ervan anyway.
I'm gonna pop a squat and like thump on the ground and it's like you home down.
As you like thump down, both of them almost like comedically in unison go and like almost like jump like off the ground, and they like look directly to like where you thumped, and like the one that was talking before pats like near where you thumped and says, "No, me home."
Uh-huh.
You
And like as they hear like you talk, they both immediately look over, and they're like their eyes kind of like squint as they look towards like the light again, and their ears kind of like widen up, like kind of like cross between like a bat and a fennec. Like very, very big, like they're like bat ears, but they're very, very big. And they like kind of like widen up to like here, like in the direction of where they heard you, and they're kind of like timidly like walking like backwards, very, very slightly.
me friend.
And they're kind of like both like sniffing like in your direction, and like and the same Achille that was talking before kind of like whispers again, like to the other Achille. We'll call them, just so I don't have to keep repeating myself, the one that's primarily talking, or the only one that's talked so far is Achille A. And the other one's Achille B.
So Jeremy and Wendell.
Yep, that's their names. That's definitely their names. Yeah. But they both look like they're very, very like stiff, like frozen in place, very, very slowly like backing up towards the back wall.
Me friend. Me sorry. Slept cave.
And like Achille A like whispers something to Achille B again. And then they both, like, continue looking. They're not doing anything, though. They're basically just, like, frozen in place. They're not really, like, trying to converse with you.
I think you're better at this than me, Alan.
I'm gonna skirt back around the edge of the cave towards the exit.
Mm-hmm. And they like both like follow your footsteps, like with their eyes as you're like stepping out of the cave, and they go back to like squinting as they're like looking at the light.
Me go.
I'm gonna hold out an arm, like just basically just holding out, like you do with like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Just holding it, not clenched or anything, just holding it out, just like a foot away from the face, so that it can decide what the fuck it wants to do with it.
Okay. As you like move your like arm closer, they seem to still be like looking in the direction of like where you last walked. And then when they like look over, they immediately both like get spooked when they notice that there's like this arm like right next to them, and they kind of like both go down like almost pressed against the floor, like that low down, and kind of like crawl backwards slightly, and then they look at each other again, and Akile B kind of like does the same like chittering like language from before that you couldn't make anything out of, and then they both turn around and scarper down the tunnel.
Bye.
What strange creatures.
Yeah, these ones are a lot different from the other ones.
I mean, Akile are normally strange creatures, but these ones are just odd.
They seem friendly. Obviously, this is their home. We should probably leave them be. Grol's gonna put out the last remnants of the fire and try and move like the carcass of the fire out of there when it's out.
Sure. What,
Like,
you
move
mean
the
the one
wood
that's
and
like
stuff.
30 feet away from the cave?
No, the one that's in it.
Did
was,
you
like, the last
did you
remnants of
fully
one.
dismantle the one in the cave, Kian, or did you just put it out?
Put it out.
Okay. Alright, so yeah. So you basically just fully dismantling it. Okay.
Yeah, dismantle it and move out all of that out of the cave.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Well, we made some friends today. I'll go relay the information to the others, and yeah, well, not much to say. Oh,
I
Alec,
would
can
like...
I have
Hmm?
can I have that stone?
No.
No.
I would like to go and tell Gil about our little rodent friends. I think he would appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
So there's no chance of me being able to have the stone.
No. It might
But-
be a sacred artifact. I don't know what significance it has. I'd like to hold on to it.
Okay.
Given
can't exactly grab it.
Given that you keep talking about how you're running low on funds, I don't know if you might just sell it next time we arrive in the village.
Alan, I wouldn't sell an artifact I found on our enemy. Unless it was worth maybe 100 Erla.
No.
No.
Of course he wouldn't.
He's just gonna slowly walk towards Gil, not really say anything else.
Well, worth a try. I'm gonna follow behind.
Okay.
Ow! Shit. Sorry, I'm fine.
Did you kick your desk?
Groll stumbled on a rock as he was going away from the cave, stubbed his toe.
Yeah, that was in character. Ow.
Trips over a root.
Gil,
Hmm?
good morning.
Hello.
We found friends.
I know. Friends, wait. Two?
Two?
Two. Okay. I only
They
saw the one.
spoke. We had
Spoke what?
something vaguely resembling a conversation in rudimentary Evan.
Alright then. A common. Wait.
I mean, is Evan not basically the equivalent of Tyrasia Common?
No, there is common.
Okay, cool.
The Lani
Yeah.
speak
I
common.
don't speak Evan.
I thought we
That's
established you did.
interesting.
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I speak common Feinkrithal.
Oh, it's, yeah, common Feinkrithal. I thought it was Evan Feinkrithal. Yeah, but yeah, they were speaking in very, very basic Evan, not common.
I might have picked up words from Ninsala.
Yeah, you could probably say like a few words.
So
But-
wait, they were speaking in Evan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting, fellows.
Did
This-
So that's their home. I'd gathered that much.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's about as much. Well, you seem to have gathered everything they were willing to tell us in our conversation. That's That's basically all they said. Was just home, and
They live there.
I scratched at those markings that they appear
Oh.
to have made on the walls. It does
Okay.
seem like they made them because I scratched at them and they said, "Meh, me home," or some words to that effect.
It's probably a marking of their territory.
Or it's their names.
Maybe.
Possible.
At first I thought the ones were saying that their name was home. But that would be silly.
You don't speak Irvin, shush.
Yeah, but I picked up a few words from Ninsala.
That was
I
an
know
out of
me and
character
home.
shush.
An out of character shush.
Well, I mean, if everybody's ready to go, maybe we should head back towards Pelham. I think we're good here.
I think it's about that time.
Raul, you want to do to this fire what you did to that other one?
Oh yeah, I'm good at putting out a fire.
Okay.
I belly flop onto the fire. I don't. I put it out regular ways.
In a regular, non-taking 1d4 fire damage way.
Take it apart too.
Yes.
I'm not sure how far out their territory goes at night.
Oh, I always do. You know, respect for the natural nature and natural, yeah, that.
Yes, the natural
Eloquent.
nature.
The respect for the natural nature.
Phil
I
kind of
thought you-
eyes him up and down.
Are you gonna multi-class into druid next level?
No.
One time a bear told me that, like, forest fires can be prevented by you putting them
Fuck
out.
you. Stuff it.
God damn it. As you're all like talking amongst yourselves and Graal starts to like, you know, kick out the fire and, you know, dismantling it and everything, you can you hear from the cave a similar voice from before. You hear and like as you turn, you can see another Achille. This one looks slightly different from the others. This one has like
dear.
this one has a scar like across its right eye, and it's like looking around. It's near the it's near like where the light is shining into the cave, and it's like just looking around, and it just shouts out, "Sparkly one."
think that's you,
think he
girl.
means you.
And it's like sniffing at the air.
You
One
are
second.
sparkly.
I'm gonna flutter over. Maybe about here.
Okay. I would say you're like maybe 20 feet away then.
Yeah, about.
It's like, and it's just stood there like on its hind legs. It's just stood like upright, sniffing around. And are you walking up to it or?
I'm fluttering.
Okay.
I'm gonna be ready to like take off.
And it just shouts out again. Where, sparkly one?
Do you mean me?
And it like, it's like taken aback, like when it hears the voice from like so close. It wasn't expecting you to be that close, and immediately like looks and says, "Hello."
Hi.
This is speaking in Evan, by the way.
Yeah. Hi.
Why are here?
We're passing through to Palom.
Slow, slow.
We are passing through to Palom
What is Palin?
City.
What is city?
Many Erva. One place. Homes.
You mean? And it kind of like makes like hand signaling of like big, saying like big tail,
Yes.
and it like nods at you and says, "Why? Why sleep in home?"
Can't sleep outside.
And it like scratches its head like trying to understand. Do not sleep me home. And then it kind of like pauses and says, please.
Okay. Won't sleep in home.
And it kind of like nods.
Sorry.
And then it like it nods again and like goes like back down, like as it's been stood upright, it kind of like goes back down onto its like all fours and kind of like backs away, and like it like starts to like go backwards towards like the tunnel and says, "Thank you." And then like goes like backwards down the tunnel.
That's both really cute and really creepy.
Me love.
Alright, I'll go back to the
as you're like talking between each other about like what just happened, you hear like rustling come back up into the cave, and it's the same Akile from before, and it walks out like hesitantly on all fours and then like props itself back up on its hind legs, and in perfect Evan, just says, "I am sorry, that is funny. We like to play joke with visitor. Hello."
Gil, his head, as he's like talking with everyone, just whips straight over, and his eyebrow is like, he looks more confused than anybody in this party has ever seen him look before.
We play tricks
his head
on
cocks
visitors.
to the side as he like stares in wonderment at this Aquile.
And he just says to you, "Did you like the joke?"
As he like stares in disbelief, he kind of cracks a smile and starts to laugh.
And like as you're laughing, it gives out like the most like obnoxious like laugh, kind of like almost mimicking you. Go like, and like walks up like over on its hind legs, straight over to the tunnel, and says, "Shriek! Get up, they are friendly." And you just hear like scuffling, and you hear like the original one, Aquile A. You see comes back out and says, "Did they fall for it?" And
Yeah,
like
we did.
the other one just like looks over and says, "Yes." So anyway, what are you doing in home, strangers?
We were looking for a place to sleep because we're not really safe to sleep outside. It was just a convenient shelter.
Yes, we've had many people stay here. It's quite funny seeing their reaction each time. What happened to the scary people from last night?
They're gone. They're gone.
Oh, okay. Good. We didn't like them. They're very noisy.
We don't like them either.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean noisy?
Well, they were very noisy. They were rummaging around a lot in the forest. They were looking for someone, and then they started shouting last night. And we saw your big tree friend. Did you get rid of them?
Is
I
he
think-
directing that at me?
No, he's talking like to the collective people in the cave entrance.
What are they saying?
They're saying they played a trick on us. But also they're wondering why we stayed here and who the people were and where they went and who got rid of them.
Now it seems like I am the one who cannot speak Evan. Do they speak Common? Or Krathal?
Gil will turn to them and in Irvin say, "Do you speak Common?"
What? Sorry. No, we just speak.
And he
are
turns,
there
he turns
different
back to
ways of
Grawl and says,
speaking?
"No."
Ah, it's okay.
There are different ways of speaking. And I'll start speaking in Fey.
And they kind of like, as you like start like, what do you say in Fey? Not like they'll understand, but what do you say?
Your home is very cozy. Thank you for letting me stay here.
Okay. And like they both like immediately look at each other and go, "Wow, that is strange."
If they think that's strange, they'd hate Krathal.
Anyway,
Let's not speak. to
Yeah.
them.
Probably an idea.
anyway, sorry about the sparkly one. What is your name?
Gil,
Oh, hello, Gil.
this is Grawl, Krava. You point to the crab guy.
I wave.
This is Sir Alan Thorne, and I'll point up to Sir Alan Thorne. And this is Selitha, and I'll point back to her.
And like as you point to Selatha, because Salazar at this point is kind of like reconvened with you, like at the entrance. She's just made herself like present. As you kind of like say, this is Salazar, they both go back down on like their all fours and kind of like dart like backwards, and they're like very, very like shifty eyes like at like between each other and Salazar.
What's wrong?
And they're like locking eyes on Salazar, and they just like,
I want to do an insight check.
sure, okay, go for it. They seem very spooked by Salazar.
Yeah. 3.
All you get from
hold
it
on.
is
What's my... Yeah, 1 second. Do I gain my proficiency bonus or my ability score?
are you proficient in insight?
No.
Then
So
it's
just the
it's
ability
just your
score.
ability mod.
Okay, yeah. So that would be 8.
8 total.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, they just look spooked as soon as you introduce Salazar. But they were both like when they came out of like the tunnel, everything after the facade has been kind of gone, they're walking around like on their back legs as if they can just normally walk on 2 legs. They both immediately go back onto like 4 legs, almost in like a spooked cat kind of stance. Like
Do you
front legs
know
forwards, kind of like all of their weight shifted backwards. Huh?
Do you know her?
No, but we don't want to.
Why are you scared?
Not scared.
What are you?
And as they kind of like the first one who like pulled the prank on you originally kind of like goes back onto his hind legs and says, "We need to go. Nice to meet you, Gil." And like without like waiting for you to talk, they both like pitter back to the back of the cave and like head back down the tunnel.
Okay, bye.
And Salazar just says, "Is it something I did?"
No. It's not something you did.
That was abrupt.
From what I know, Kile are very skittish. I don't know, maybe they just don't like Garva. Who knows?
Maybe.
Alright, we should go to Pelham.
Yeah.
It's wasting.
Okay. Have you got everything packed up, ready to go?
I'll start packing up.
Girl's ready straight
I'll
away.
fold up the winter blanket again and put it back.
Okay.
Actually. Hey, Sir Alan. Do you, where's Horace?
Vibin.
Ivan? I'm sure I
Vibin'.
can see him out of game, right?
Yeah, you probably could, because he's just moved out of the way of the cave.
Okay. I am going to go over to Horace and flutter up and place the winter blanket where Salazar sits.
Sure, okay.
Less branchy.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm. It should be at least a little bit more comfortable.
So are you all wanting to start heading back now? I think it's noon at this point.
Yeah, I think we should get going.
Yeah.
Gil's definitely pushing to go.
What about the others? Anything else you want to do before you head off?
Nope.
No, I think I'm ready.
Okay. Right. Marching order then. What are you doing about this now? Are you
I'm gonna
all
be
getting on
Horace's
Horace, other than?
I'll walk ahead of Horace.
Okay, sure.
I will also be walking ahead.
Okay. So you're going kind of like a camel caravan style.
Yeah.
Okay. So as before, I'm assuming Horace kind of like dips down his arm for Selether to climb up slowly, and perches her butt on her new little seating area, which she finds a bit more comfy. Are you all ready to take off?
Yeah, as we do. Gonna do Pass Without Trace.
Sure, okay. Go for it then. Mark that off.
Yep.
And for the next hour, you are super stealthy, gigantic tree creature travel. So yeah, you
About how long from the cave is it to Pelham, if I remember?
I would say you would be able to get there before midnight.
Okay.
Based on just like, I mean, this would be more like a growl thing more than anything. I'm recalling like distances and stuff.
Yeah, I'd remember, probably.
I would say based on like Graal's knowledge, you'd get there before taverns closed, like 9 or 10ish. It would take it'd still take like a long time traveling, like many hours, but you would get there before tomorrow. You'd probably get there with enough time to like check in at a tavern if you wanted to. So yeah, you start to make your way back west. Yes, west. West to Palin. You are heading through the... where is it?
Gonna, as per usual, keep an eye out on the tree lines.
Yeah. So yeah, you slowly make your way back through the rest of the Tiri Woods, which is the woods that you've been wandering back and forth through now. And for the first hour, you don't pick up anything in the surrounding area out of the ordinary. It's fairly sunny today. There's not as many clouds, which makes a change. It's not always like buffeting down with rain during Ithanus, but you do get like 1 or 2 breaks of sunny days here and there. It's not as bad. It's, I would say, like overcast, and yeah. For the hour of Pass Without Trace, you don't see anything out of the ordinary in the distance. It's basically just like undisturbed wilderness all around you. But yeah, an hour passes uneventfully. Is there anything that you're wanting to do whilst you are traveling?
Gil is sitting on top of Horace's head, nose deep in his journal, writing about the Achille.
Okay.
And Grawl is skipping.
Skipping? How do you skip
Yeah, I
before
don't know how that works.
Do try to be stealthy. My spell is just worn off.
Oh, sorry. Grawl,
yeah, it's almost as if, like, for the rest of the wilderness, there was just, like, absolute silence, and then there's just suddenly this...
Thud, 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 thud.
just out of nowhere.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, just some... just some random bird says in common, What the fuck?
What the fuck? Grell just walks like a regular Craig Nova.
Is it sideways?
Huh? No.
So yeah, you continue traveling for the next hour or so without pass without trace, and you don't seem to make out anything out of the ordinary.
I'll look up from my journal every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. As far as you're aware, there is no difference in your surroundings.
Okay. I'd say about after 30 minutes he's done writing, and I'll slot my journal away again and keep a closer eye out.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So whenever that is.
Yeah. So you continue traveling west. For what seems like a few more hours, you seem to be completely undisturbed. There's like no there are no like humanoids wandering around where you are. This seems to be a fairly like unwalked path. It's not a very like popular trade route. The route that you came from Talasi or Nera to Palim, I should say, was a lot more like worn. It seems like it's a lot more common of a trade route. This one seems to have like a lot more grass patches like scattered all over the roads. And yeah, you don't come across like any other like humanoids as far as you're aware in your immediate vicinity for several hours now. Just like idly chatting to each other. Yeah. 1 second, just need to quickly check something.
No worries.
I don't like the sound of that.
Let me just check the stats on the
Tarask?
the sea Tarask, the forest Tarask.
1
The
sec.
flying Tarask. It's
Oh,
going
no.
to swoop
How
down.
do you spell Cephal Tarask? 5E Tarask. No. Okay.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. So yeah, you continue traveling for what seems like another like 2 or 3 hours, completely undisturbed. As far as you travel now, it's I would say about 5 p.m. You can hear, or Gil can hear like just behind him, Seletha's stomach like grumble quite loudly. And as Gil like turns, she kind of like dips her head and says, "It's fine, we can keep going."
Hey, Grawl.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think you can forage, like, alongside of the trail?
Oh yeah,
Like, as we're walking?
yeah. I'd imagine so.
Okay. Can you
Need
do
some
that?
food?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know, I'm feeling a little hungry, actually.
I don't want to be a burden. No, it's
not-
fine. Just keep going.
I'm
It's
also
not a
hungry.
burden. I'm hungry too.
See? The crab's hungry.
I'm always hungry. That's my secret, Seletha.
And she kind of like you see as she kind of like you see her like try and hide a smirk as she goes to like scratch her cheek. And she says, "Okay, well if you're hungry as well, then it's
Not a problem at all. Be much
Uh,
quicker if you helped. But that's okay.
no, I can help. I can help.
You wanna help? Tell
Yeah.
you what, I'll walk alongside Horace. You can jump onto my. Actually, let's not do that. I can grab you out of the air if you want. Or you can walk down Horace's arm.
I prefer that, I think.
Hey, Sir Alan.
Yeah, not a problem.
You want to stop Horace for just a second so Celitha can get down?
Yeah.
Thanks. And like as she's like slowly like climbing down, yeah, she says, okay, where should we go? Do you want to give me a survival roll? Did I do a survival roll for foraging before?
Yeah, I usually do survival.
Okay.
Oh god. That's a 9.
No additional?
That's with additional.
Oh.
I rolled a 5.
Oh. Oh no. Okay. So she kind of like, she looks at you like, waiting for like, I guess an order.
Just follow along me and grab what I miss. You know what to look for.
Okay. And like, as you wander around, it takes you like a lot longer than usual to find like a decent amount of food. It takes like a good half an hour for you to actually get like a somewhat decent portion of like assorted like berries and fungus to eat.
I'd like to think I'm star jumping along in pace with Horace.
Like, Celitha keeps, like, looking around and then, like, looking back and trying to, like, keep up with Horace's, like, slow pace. But yeah, half an hour passes of, like, rummaging around just off the path, trying to find some food, and you manage to find 3, like, decent helpings of food. Like, assorted food.
Sorry that took longer than usual. Kept matching pace with Horace is odd. He's both faster and slower than I expected.
No, it's fine. And then she shouts up to Gil and says, "Gil, I got you some."
Oh, thanks. And he like flutters down.
And like hands like a small handful of berries and a couple of mushrooms over to you.
Okay, looking over at like what she's gathered, has she gotten anything that's not good?
No, she managed to get everything like that's safe to eat.
Okay.
It just took like a lot longer than usual.
Okay.
Another great job, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'll take my portion.
Taught her well.
He just starts like popping berries in his mouth as he flutters back up to Horace's head.
Once Growl's handed everything out to everybody, he's gonna just eat his portion.
As
Celitha, do you want backup?
Yes, please.
Hey, Sir Alan.
It's done.
Okay.
It is done. And she like goes back
what
to
I'd give to
climbing
be
back
able to
on.
ride him.
So as you all get situated back on Horace, and Grawl gets back to the front of the march, you see in the far distance there is a figure walking down the path towards you, like coming your way.
From a distance, like how far?
I would say like a good 100 feet away, but
Okay.
it's a fairly like straight path where
Do
you
they
currently
look
are.
cloaked?
They look slender, and you can't see their arms moving. It looks like they're like clutching around themselves, like they're clutching their chest, and they're walking like fairly slowly, but they're coming towards you.
Are they hooded?
They are hooded, yeah. From a distance, though, then they you can tell because they're in daylight. From a distance, you can tell they're not wearing black,
Oh,
but they are hooded.
okay.
It could be the brown dye. It's not.
The browned eye. I have to play with this idiot every week.
Yeah, you do. You wouldn't have it any other way. Probably.
So yeah. The figure that's walking towards you, though, is, as far as you can tell, looking like downwards at the path, not necessarily looking like forwards. Yeah, you are continuing to walk like towards each other. You're now like 100 feet away.
They're not.
My eyesight isn't really good enough to make out details.
They're not wearing black.
Yeah,
But
caught that
they
much.
do have a hood on. I mean, there's
look
not much
injured.
sense in me stealthing us if they're just going to run into us.
True. I could walk off the path, but they look injured.
Yeah, well, I mean, if one of us wants to go, that's. But I'm staying here.
Well, I suppose I could.
I'll go. If they're injured,
You're
I
now
can
90
help.
feet away.
Alan's probably a better shot than me.
Okay. Well, we'll stop here. Then.
Okay, sure. So Sir Alan
I've got
is
your
going to
back.
continue like walking forwards towards this figure.
I am giving Horace good head pats.
Pat, pat, pat. Good, massive
inspiration.
tree beast. Okay, so it takes like a minute to get like closer to the figure. You realize that as far as you can tell, they are Evan. It's an Evan female. And they seem to be very intently looking like at the floor where they're walking, not really looking up. And it's not until you get within like 30 feet does she actually look up and see Sir Alan. And she kind of like pauses and just like looks up and says, "Hi."
What's that? And says what now?
She just says hi, like
Ah, no, that was the softest hi.
yeah. That's literally like how she says it. She just
that
says
was the same volume
Hi.
as the ambience. I wasn't sure if you said anything for a second. I was just like, did it cut out? All right. Hello.
"Can I help you?"
I was about to ask you the same thing. Are you all right?
It's fine. I need to get going.
What's fine?
And she kind of like she just shakes her head and like she just says like softly, "Please just leave me alone." And continues to like walk forwards, like starting to veer slightly to the side so that she can walk past you.
Fair enough, if you're alright.
And yeah, she just walks straight past Sir Alan and goes back to like holding her chest and like very like slowly walking eastwards.
Alan's just sort of standing there looking real confused. Doesn't really know what to do with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like,
At this point, she's maybe like 60 feet away from the rest of the party. She hasn't really looked up to notice you, though. And yeah, she just continues walking down the path, like closer and closer. She's now 50 feet away.
Seemed like Alan didn't get through to them.
$40 feet away now.
Maybe we should move
Well-
on her way.
Might be a good idea. Let's get off the path. I'll keep watching.
Horace, come on. Pat, pat.
And as like Horace starts to like lumber to the side, she looks up and like notices like this massive grove strider and like company, and she looks quizzically at like all of you, and then turns around back to Sir Alan, and then she like looks back forward again, and she like, you see her put her like hands like on her head, and she like quickens her walk like towards you, and like goes like starts to walk slightly off the path. Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't cover her face. She like puts a hand on her head, and she just like walks like she starts to like quicken her pace and walk like straight past you, and Gil and Graal, can you roll for perception based on hearing?
Oh shit. I rolled the 19. That'd be 19 plus 1, so that's 20 dirty.
Right, you Gil.
17 plus 8.
Plus 8.
Yeah.
Okay. As she like hurries past, you hear her muttering under her breath, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry."
What's that?
Sorry for what?
And she kind of like, she realizes that you heard her. She didn't mean that to be like audible enough for you to hear, and she kind of like quickens her pace and like hurries past you.
I'm gonna
You're in
entangle.
danger. Oh.
I need a strength saving throw against my spell save DC.
Okay, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to. I'm casting entangle onto her.
Okay, and I have to do a what save?
Strength save against my spell save DC, which is 16.
I do not beat that.
Because a Sith Lord now. If you ignore him, he holds you in place with weird magic.
I heard her say, "I'm so sorry." Look, people are fucking crazy, okay? We have people after us.
So yeah, you cast Entangle, and this is the thing where like the roots and stuff like come out of the ground and like is that what it is? The thing that where it like comes out of the ground and like grasps like her like ankles and stuff?
Restrained by plants.
Okay.
Zyra's E.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
And she kind of like lets out like an audible gasp as this happens, and she just shouts out, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
I'm gonna flutter down in front of her face. And I want a good look at her face.
Okay. Her as you go closer to her, you can immediately tell she's a Diroshi. And you can see her skin. She looks like she has like blemishes on her skin.
You're sundered.
And she she like covers her eyes and shakes her head, and just says, "No, I'm not."
I can see your skin. I can tell by your skin.
And she like goes to like cover her ears, and just like shakes her head.
You sensitive to sunlight?
And she just says, "What do you want?"
Why are you saying sorry?
We've never met you.
And she like looks around like at like the lot of you. I'm assuming Sir Alan at this point has like started to wander back.
No.
Oh, are you just like staying out?
Even when you see
man.
me entangle her.
He's mad confused.
Like, well-
he was wandering towards her, and then as soon as she just ignored him and walked past, he just sort of, his gaze followed her, but then he was just like, why? And like just stood
He was
there
quite
and
clearly
looked.
rooted in place.
He was.
Uh,
So is she.
yeah, so is she.
So yeah, I'm like however far away I was when I ran into her, still just sort of looking quizzically at what's going on and wondering why Gil's interrogating this woman.
We don't want to hurt you. We just want to know why you're sorry. We're confused.
She looks at Gil, like directly, and she puts her finger to her mouth with like a shush look, and slowly like pulls out a necklace that was tucked into her shirt that looks like the necklace you've seen before that Arathan was
I'm
wearing.
immediately going to cover it
Okay. How are you gonna cover it?
with my hands.
Okay. Sure.
Graal would like to roll an insight check.
Sure. Okay. What are you trying to be insightful of?
I want to try and get the vibe if this person's being extorted.
Okay. Sure.
That's a 17 plus. What the fuck is insight? Is that charisma?
No, I think it's
It's
intelligence.
I actually have insight. This is my first insight roll.
Oh, nice.
18, 19, 20, that's 21.
21. You can tell by like examining her body movements and her expressions. You can tell she's being genuinely sorry.
Gil, I think there's more to this.
I know there's more to this.
Yeah. Did they put you up to whatever you're sorry
Stop.
for? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna clasp my hands around the pendant and rip it off her neck,
Okay. Sure.
like trying to break the clasp.
How far away am I?
You are.
Like
I would say
50
about
feet?
60 feet away in front.
Cool.
And then I'm going to flutter over about 40 feet over into the woods
Okay.
and sink it into the ground.
Sure. Okay.
And then cover it with nearby leaves.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll fly back over.
And she like, this girl looks kind of like distressed. And she just says, "Why did you do that?"
Because they can perceive
Because I don't
through
want to be
those
followed.
gems. We've already had experience with one of those necklaces before.
Where?
Doesn't matter. So Arathan sent you?
Okay, so I assume you're Ninsala's friends.
You know
Yeah.
Ninsala?
Kinda.
Kind of.
So you've met.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've heard of us.
I'm gonna start searching her.
Okay, sure.
Good cop, bad cop.
What do you want me to roll?
What would I want you to roll?
Investigation?
Yeah, I would say investigation.
Okay. Hold on. 6 plus 5, so 11. I want to look for a dagger.
On your brief search all over her, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
The only thing out of the ordinary that was on her person was that necklace, as far as you can
Now
tell.
listen, we don't want to hurt you. We won't hurt you. We just want to know what you're sorry for. What did you say? They can't hear you now.
And she looks up at Seletha, like on top of Horus, and she points with like her eyes like squinting in the sun, and she points up and says, "I assume that's the girl."
Can neither confirm nor deny.
They're looking for her.
Yeah, unfortunately we already know that. Did
They're
they
looking
extort
for
you?
a girl. You don't know if that's the girl.
Did
Well-
you do this purposefully? Did they force you? Or is Arathan dangling being of a shear? Is that right? That's right. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Dangling being of a shear in front of you, like certain other people.
He kidnapped my sister.
Your sister?
Mm-hmm. And
Who is your sister?
And she just like shakes her head and continues and says, "He said he would give her back if I were to find out where you are."
Well, I'll tell you what. We have to go get someone that he took. Anyways, if you tell me who your sister is, we can probably get her too. And that way you don't have to do something that you're going to regret.
It's not the first time
Because
we've
I
taken
promise
someone.
you will regret it.
We've saved people
He's
from Arathan
making
before.
direct eye contact.
She's like trying to like look around, like she's trying to not make eye contact, basically.
Did your sister work in Palin? With a Cephaclora, perchance?
Why do you know her?
If it's the same person, then yes.
And she like looks around and says, I don't deserve help.
Yes, you do. Everyone deserves help.
But I'm the reason why they know you're here.
That doesn't matter. They already knew. They were always going to come for us. Don't blame
We've
yourself.
gotta move.
We do have to move. But if we can help, we want to. Well, I want to. I don't know about Gil. Listen, don't beat yourself up about this. Did your sister work in the Bob Bud?
Yes.
We'll find her.
We were already going to find her, but now you've just complicated the situation.
Well, yes, but yes.
Yes, but yes.
Listen, don't beat yourself up about this. We can handle them in a fight if need be. Keep yourself safe.
We
You're
already
not injured, are
promised
you?
Maple that we would go find her,
Are you injured?
And she kind of like... She, like, rolls back her sleeve, and you can see this, like, really, like, how would I describe this? That is the right word, I thought it was. She rolls back her sleeve, and she shows this, like, garish, wound that looks like still fairly fresh in her arm, and yeah, she just like shows that and like looks up at Gil, and you can see her arm like shaking.
Gil, that's gonna be a problem if we leave it.
No, it just to be a lot more specific, it looks like a hole, not a cut. As if something
that
was
gets
in
infected, she's done for.
Fine. He says he's just really begrudgingly pulls out his focus. And I will use 2 of my Balm of the Summer card dice, which are d6s.
As you say like fine and go to like cast your Balm of the Summer Court, she kind of like pushes her hand out and like interrupts you, and she just like she covers her wound and says, she like shakes her head and just says to you, it's not that kind of wound.
Oh? What caused this?
And she just says, he sundered me.
This was where your gemstone was?
And she kind of like, at this point her like eyes are like welling up.
Don't speak about it if you don't want to.
And she's just like, she's like trying to hide her face and like shaking with like, you know, teary eyes.
We're on our way back to Maple. Come with us. She might be able to help you. As long as you don't have anything else on you. And if you do, I suggest you get rid of it really fast, but we can help you.
I don't have anything on me.
Okay.
I-
You're not
I
going to
wouldn't-
run, are you? Because that would be really stupid.
No, I've been trying to find your friend for the last day.
Ninsala?
Kinsella?
I couldn't find her.
She'll meet back up with us.
We were going to be meeting back in Palom anyway.
Come with us.
Please. We found something that may be able to help. Maybe even a little bit. We don't know you, but we know your sister, and she's never treated us badly. So, also, I'm gonna try and get down in her face and look into her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make you 2 promises. 1, we're gonna find your sister. 2, for what Arathan's done to you, he's gonna fucking pay. I can promise you that.
I'll let go on my entangle.
And as she like gets like the feeling back in her legs and she's able to like stand properly, she just holds her like arm again and just says, "I don't care about me, just please find my sister." And she's like, at this point she's just like sniveling.
Of course.
Get on the Grub Strider.
He's friendly, I promise.
Come on.
His name's Horace. He's a good boy.
And she like she was about to say that she was just gonna walk, and she just like defeatedly says, "Okay." And like basically like staggers
Sir
over.
Alan. Sir Alan.
Is Sir Alan
Oi,
there?
tree!
It's like 60 feet. You're gonna have to yell louder than that.
I'm not yelling into my mic. I'm not gonna deafen the stream.
Can I hear him from that far away?
60 feet, yeah. Shouting you can hear from 60 feet, definitely.
Yeah, but he's only little. His voice box has got to be like the size of a pig.
Bitch, what did you call me? Just immediately, like, Faye warps over there. Oh, let's see who's little now. Yeah, no, I would say, like, even Gil would be able, like, you would definitely hear, rather than, you might not necessarily pick up, like, the exact words, but you would probably be able to make out Sir Alan, like, as a blur in the distance.
I'm gonna start walking over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still very confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sir Alan wanders over to about, like, 30 feet away now and is now, like, well within hearing distance.
Are you done interrogating the person?
Yeah, make Horace do the thing.
Make Horace do the thing.
Who are they?
Ayari's sister.
Oh.
She had a pendant. She's been sundered.
Wonderful.
We're
Does
taking her
she-
back to Maple to see if she can do the same thing for her as she's doing for Sullivan.
Oh,
And she better hope that she didn't lead them to Maple yet.
Has she
can I ask a
been-
question? What's your name?
My name's Siltha.
Nice to meet you, Silpha. I'm Graal, but you probably already didn't know that.
How did you find us?
I met your friend. Ninsala, her name was.
So Ninsala told you where we were?
Well, I was tasked to find out where you were. I noticed that Ninsala, your friend, was heading alone to Tyrasia. So I kind of got the information out of her, and
So she told you where we were.
well, yeah, but it was because of me. I pestered her for the information.
I kind of like side-eye Grawl.
Huh?
Mhm.
What?
I have no eye sockets, but I'm also side-eyeing Gil. In as much capacity as I can.
You're just moving this little stone from one side of your fucking eye to the other.
The weird smoky stone rolls from one eye
You-
socket through a little cavity into my other eye socket.
You need
What
to
are-
have a talk with your long-time traveling companion about secrecy and safety.
Oh.
Telling random people where we're going when we're being followed is probably not the best idea. And
Yeah.
I think it'll be better coming from you than from me.
I know Ninsala. She probably got tricked.
She
Yeah,
pipes
she
up.
needs to not do that.
She pipes up again and says, when they got all the information that they needed, they pulled me back to where they're currently staying.
Okay, where's
And
that?
Do you know where that is?
I've only seen the inside.
Was it a cave?
Okay, well, you can think about it on our way back to Palom. So we should move so they can't do that again to you, because we should make as much distance between us and that thing as we can.
Nowhere that deserves to be standard. Yeah.
And she
Um,
just
headway.
like is Horace like laddering at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she's like she was explaining this like as she was like slowly like climbing up, and she's now like I guess behind Selitha. And she's just like perched up there now.
Alright, let's move.
I need to make headway. We've still got a little bit of a journey ahead of us.
And as you all are you back in marching order again? You're was it Sir Alan, Graal, and then Horace and Co?
Yeah.
Is this Sir Alan on Horace?
No.
Mm-mm.
No, he was
Sir
traveling.
Alan's
Oh.
in the front.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Graal likes to be in front because he likes to feel important.
And
that.
as you all start onwards again, that is in fact the end of the chapter.
That went by fast.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So, what did you think of this? This was a bit more of a chilled chapter, I'd definitely say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the chill.
Gil's
characters.
cooking show is probably
Yeah.
my favorite thing.
Cooking
now-
with a girl.
We're gonna try and find definitive instructions on how to cook a badger.
Yeah. Next time we will prepare a Tyrasian cookbook. And
I'm gonna get a cooking hat for Graal.
yeah, we'll get back to you on that. But yeah, what did you guys think of this chapter as a whole?
I liked
I enjoyed it.
Like it was more subdued than I like other chapters, but I think it's been like a nice breather.
Mm-hmm.
Can I also just quietly fist pump that I called that was Friendo's sister?
Mm-hmm.
I called that one after the chapter when I watched Takuni.
So, yeah, that's going to be it for us this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've been watching live, or if you're watching the VOD at any point in the next 3 years when it goes up. Yeah, we will be back next week, as far as I'm aware.
I'm down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'll
Yeah,
be the
should be good.
23rd, I think. Yeah. Should be around for there.
Oh my god. It's nearly June already. Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's going
My
quick.
birthday next month.
I mean, let's not wish it away. We're only halfway in.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you next week for chapter 26 of Tales of Tyrasia.
See you next week.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.